I'm the type that when I see somebody doing something more than me, I want what they have. Like every time I go to London and I see Prince Charles how he rolled, I want to be a Duke. I want to be a Prince. So stuff like that, motivates me.
Hey guys, you're now listening to the CoachYas Network podcast, a podcast aimed at anyone who's passionate about athlete, talent, and personal development. My name's CoachYas, and I'm a UEFA A-licensed football coach developer, and content creator. I'll be sitting down with a range of guests to discuss their journeys, their life lessons, and how you can make an impact. Enjoy. Right, guys, welcome back to the CoachYas Network. My name's CoachYas, and today I've got my co-host with me, my longtime friend, Damini Onifade. How's it going, Dams?
I'm all good. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. And guys, today we've got an unbelievable guest with us. The honor is definitely ours. We've got Mr. Shaquille O'Neal himself. How are you, Shaq?
It's getting better.
Right, Shaq. You know what? It's been a long and difficult year for everyone. But just to kind of get the conversation started, I just want to start saying Merry Christmas and hope you've had a good day today.
Yes, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Salam alaikum. Shout out to everybody. Big ups to everybody in London. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys.
Likewise. Just want to kind of, really get a brief insight to your journey and, how you've kind of, got to where you got to today. I want to take you right back to the start of your playing career as a basketball player. And, would you mind just giving us a bit of insight on what that was like?
I got to become who I am today by trials and tribulations, by trials of wanting to be the best, and tribulations of, doing whatever I had to do to become the best. I'm the type that when I see somebody doing something more than me, I want what they have. Like every time I go to London and I see Prince Charles how he rolled, I want to be a Duke. I want to be a Prince. So stuff like that, motivates me. I went to meet with him one time and they treated me so well, and the way he lived, the way certain people live in London, I just wanted that lifestyle as a youngster. So I always tell all the kids, no matter where you come from, if you have that drive, you have that determination, you could become who you want to become. Because I wasn't the smartest guy, I wasn't the greatest athlete, but my drive was just so crazy. If you had something that I wanted, I'm gonna do whatever I got to do to get it.
Most doubt, and I think that that mentality, certainly one that I think everyone should try and adopt from that. But that mentality has obviously led you down a career path of 4 NBA championships, 3-time NBA, final MVP, and obviously the 3-peat with the Lakers. What was that experience like? Working, going with the Lakers and then working under Phil Jackson, playing alongside Kobe, and the rest of that.
It's all about dreaming. As a youngster, I used to always watch the Lakers and Magic Johnson and Kareem and the Celtics and the Pistons, and I always said, if I get to that level, I want to be recognized as a champion. Because I met those guys when I was young, and they were, of course, getting older. The people treated them like gods, and I was like, you know what? I want this type of treatment. So, it took me a while to get there, but once we got the blueprints, Kobe and myself, especially playing with Phil, it was easy for us. So we was able to win 3 in a row. And look, like I said, as a kid, if you have dreams and aspirations, just follow them and don't ever stop. Like, there was a lot of times I said to myself, before you succeed, you must first learn to fail. So I learned how to fail, and I learned how to, capitalize off my mistakes. And I just kept saying, okay, I don't know how long I'm going to play, but I ain't going to lose every year. And every time I lost, I just hungry and hungry and hungry. And then by the time, we got to LA with Phil, I was just so hungry. I was like, you know what? I just got to dominate. Not play well, not play great. I got to dominate. I got to make people quit. I got to average 40. And I did that all year. And I did it 3 years in a row.
Just on that, you talked there about, having that mindset of just wanting to dominate, and and obviously the idea of you need to learn how to fail before you can succeed. That's not always easy for people to kind of get around to. So what were some of the keys that helped you, I guess, develop, just maintain that mindset?
Well, it's only one key element. You set a goal and you gotta just go towards it. So like if I'm trying to get to Buckingham Palace, and I make a left and I end up in another part of London, I got to go back to the hotel and start all over the next day. I'm not going to say, oh, I missed Buckingham Palace. Now I got to get on a flight and go back to no, I'm going to go back to the hotel. And then I said, okay, yesterday I turned left, so I'm not going to turn left today. I'm going to turn right. Damn, Buckingham Palace not this way either. So I'm going to just keep going and going until I get to where I got to go. Don't matter how many times I fail. Once I fail, I know not to make the same mistake twice. Some people fail and just quit. I don't ever quit.
And I think, I've kind of really got to commend that mentality. And, your career has obviously shown that, having that mentality to certainly served you well. Just have another quick question. Obviously, your time at the Lakers, we want to talk about the late, great Kobe Bryant. What was it like playing with Kobe? And obviously, one of the true greats of the game like yourself. What was it about him that made him who he was?
It was fun. I was playing like a younger version of myself. Somebody that had the same mentality. And I think a lot of times guys worry about titles instead of worry about certain things. We were both worried about whose team it is, who's the best player on the team. But when it came time to realize we had a job to do, we won 3 championships in a row. But the older you get, people want to be able to do things on their own. So in business of basketball, business just took over and they chose him, and I had to do something else, which was fine with me. And if I had it all over do it again, I wouldn't change anything. A lot of people think, "Oh, you didn't get along." It's not that we didn't get along. We always respected each other. That's all you need. I don't know how you guys do on your podcast, but I can tell you guys are good friends. I'm sure every now and then you get into an argument, but I can tell you have respect for each other. As long as you got respect for each other, nothing else matters. So were we best friends? Nope. Were we best friends on the court? Yep. That's all that matters.
And speaking of him, like you, the two of you have transcended basketball to the extent where you're an icon. Even people who don't know anything about the NBA or whatever. I was just saying to my parents, I'm going to go interview Shaquille O'Neal. My parents can't tell you the name of any other basketball players, but they definitely know you. They definitely know Kobe Bryant. I kind of want to know how you got to that iconic status, and when did you realize you were an icon?
I got to the iconic status because I never changed. I want kids to be able to look at me and say, that's me. See, a lot of times we look at these superstars and they do outlandish stuff, and a lot of kids say, I can't do that. I would never do that. I'm not that smart. But I want kids to be able to look and be like, that's me. Damn, I got tattoos. He got tattoos. I got braids. He got braids. Shaq like rap music. I like rap music. Shaq got the 26s on the truck. So I want them to be, I want to be the portal for them to see how I did it so they can use that information so they can get to the next level. I'm not one of these, blah, 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 blah. I don't do that to the kids because I'm not that guy. I want them to be like, hey, and I always tell them, this is how I did it to get this next level, and I'm giving you the answers to the test. You can follow it. You can add some of your own stuff to it, and it may work for you. Cheese, lettuce, tomatoes.
And so just a follow-up question.
Talking to my...
Yeah, no worries. I gathered. Just a follow-up question to that. Yeah. I know you're from New York.
My mama making cheese.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
I'm kind of jealous. I know you're from Newark, New Jersey. To the point, like that's from what I understand over here. That seems like it was the hood, but so many amazing characters, amazing people have come out of there. What was in the water there that's created so many iconic people just like yourself, and also how important was it for you to see other people make it?
It was nothing there. It was nothing there. You get tired of just being. You get tired of being broke. You get tired of being poor. What I can say about my people in Newark is they did a great job of keeping me out of trouble. Because, look, I used to like to knuckle up. I used to like to do all that stuff. They always used to be like, no, man, you go play ball, you focus on that. Because, like, they believed in me before I believed in myself. My cousin used to always tell me, nope, we about to go over there and handle these dudes. You stay your ass in the house. We get back when we get back. Don't come outside. If I see you outside, I'm going to knock your ass out. We're going to go fight these dudes. You stay in your house. If you come outside, I better see you on that basketball court practicing. They knew that I was going to be what I am today. And they did a great job of protecting me. But look, I was just used to sit in the house like, especially on Christmas. I didn't get nothing on Christmas. I used to just say to myself, when I get rich, I'm going to buy whatever I want. When I get rich, I'm going to buy my mama. Like, I just get so mad and get so driven from not having nothing. People just, got to use their talents, to get out.
So, I just want to take you back to something you touched on a little while ago, and you talked there about giving some of the younger, people about the answers to the test essentially. Now, I want to get a bit more insight around that. What is, I guess, your career and being having worked under the coaches like Pat Riley and Phil Jackson and the rest of them. What have all those experiences taught you about leadership?
Well, I realized that either a leader is born or a leader has to be made. But ever since being a great player, people say, you're the leader, you're the leader. I never knew what that meant. So I bought every leadership book. I talked to people. And then I came to the conclusion that, okay, all these people follow me because I'm the best player. Now, if I want to win, I have to lead them. Then I learn how to become a leader. When I say I'm giving the answers to the test away, I always tell people things that are difficult, you break them down to the simplest form. So this is how I made it. 1, I listened to my mommy and daddy. That's 1. 2, I became a leader and not a follower. All the kids out there doing that crazy stuff, you know what's going to get you in trouble. You know what's not going to get you in trouble. So you got to stay on the right path. 3, I was able to find something that I was good at. And then 4, after I did that, I just, capitalized off that. And that's all it was for me. I'm not a Wall Street guy. I'm not a genius. I'm not an internet tech guy. I just took those 4 simple things and just stayed with it. Boom, boom, boom. And then number 5, never give up on nothing. And that's how I became who I am today. So, I tell people that, I look at them, I tell them sincerely, and hopefully they can take that and, become something. I'm 48 years old. Every year I always meet somebody that say, hey, man, you inspire me. I'm doing business with a guy now that's a hedge fund billionaire. He said I went to his high school and talked to his high school. Then he went to college, boom, boom, boom. Now he's a hedge fund billionaire doing a lot of real estate in Atlanta, and he put me in on a couple of deals.
Just kind of on that thing, kind of delve a little bit deeper into that. I'm interested to know, you've had an experience now, and had inspiration for others. But who's inspired you? I want to know, in your own career, in your own journey, have you had any particular individuals or experiences that you've, I guess, really learned big lessons
So
from?
when I was coming up, the first guy I admired was Muhammad Ali. Everybody loved him, white, black. Then he kept it real. He did it his way. I was like, oh, I'm keeping that. Second guy was Dr. J, smooth. He was the first real smooth guy in the NBA. Bam. The next guy was Magic Johnson. Happy, smile, nice to everybody, courteous. And the last guy was Michael Jordan, dominant, kill your ass, not smiling. He was so good that everybody just quit when they played against him. Those are the 4 elements that I bring into myself. But the biggest one was Muhammad Ali. He was so big and so in his personality, but he always kept it 1,000. That's what I do. Not be fake to the kids. I cannot be fake to the people. That's not something I do. Can't do it.
So I guess, kind of, had a long career and, you talked about never wanting to give up, but, and I'm not looking for anything extraordinary in terms of response to this question, but what's helped you to stay inspired and keep motivated throughout that journey? And then obviously you've now taken that into your career post playing.
What helps me stay inspired is my mother watches TV every day. And I don't want her to be disappointed by me doing some bullshit. See what I'm saying? Another thing that keeps me inspired is I have 6 children that look up to me. The third thing that keeps me inspired is your children look up to me. So if I'm going to be the portal for them to get to that next level, I can't be out there doing bullshit. I can make mistakes. I can be human, but I can't be doing stupid stuff. You know what I mean? So that's what keeps me humble and keeps me motivated. Because I know that there's people that's really looking up to me. And guess what? I was looking up to Muhammad Ali. He never let me down. Dr. J never let me down. Magic never let me down. Mike never let me down. So I'm not gonna let my mama down. 2, I'm not gonna let my kids down. And 3, I'm not gonna let your kids down. So that's the one thing that keeps me motivated and it keeps me humble.
100%. I think, definitely, I totally respect that. And then I'm just curious now, then obviously over the years in your in your playing career in particular, to kind of link it back to this particular podcast, I'm a football coach. So I work with athletes and more specifically in the sport of football or soccer, as you guys know it. I'm very interested to know if you can maybe share an example when you feel that you might have received your best coaching and what that looked like, and I guess the impact it might have had on you in those moments.
Say it again.
So just curious to know, throughout your playing career, when if you can provide us with an example of when you feel that you received your best coaching from any of the coaches that you played under.
Probably Phil Jackson. And the reason why Phil Jackson let us figure it out, just Shaq, you're a good player, you're a great player, but this is what you're gonna need to get to that next level. He showed us, and then he let us figure it out. Like if you remember our games when we lost leads, he never called timeout. Like no, play through it. You're out there bullshitting around, play through it. So I think his coaching was the best. And then coaches can only guide you. You have to have the talent and the knowledge and the ability and the want to go over and take over a game. Especially like in soccer. Of course, I know you got a game plan, but like if you got a one-on-one matchup and you're nice with the feet work and the score is tied, you got to get around this guy. You either want to pass it like the coach say, oh, let's pass it, or you got to say, no, I'm going to get around this guy because I know one time if I'm about to get around him, now it's one-on-one, I'm probably going to score. So you got to have that mentality. So that's the mentality I had. I was like, listen, coach going to tell me what to do, but I got to take over this game because as the leader, I got to make sure we win.
And that's quite an honourable thing to do, I guess, and a brave thing to do at times, because there's a lot of players that kind of maybe don't step up to the plate often enough in that respect, but at the same time, a lot of coaches don't often give the players the ownership to be able to do that. So I guess, just kind of building on that, I'm curious to know maybe what were some of the biggest challenges you faced in your whole journey as a player, from start to, I guess, when you eventually,
only had one challenge, and that was my free throws. But like when I really buckled down and needed to hit them during the last couple of seconds, I was always hit them. But I think a lot of times I was worrying about my percentage and it just didn't go through. But when I needed to hit them, like in the finals, I always stepped up and hit them. But I think that was God's way of just keeping me humble. As dominant as I was, what if I shot 90% from the free throw line? I'd probably be a hard person to deal with. I probably wouldn't be on the podcast now. I'd be better than all those other players. I'd be so arrogant. So I just, just a way to, keep me humble. You out? Oh.
Brilliant. And then it's kind of, I just want to, as we start to kind of wind down now, then, I'm curious, if you had an opportunity to go and speak to yourself, you've had a very successful career, one that you seem to be very happy with nonetheless. If you had an opportunity to go back and speak to your younger self, maybe when you were starting out, first coming into the NBA,
I wouldn't do nothing different because I was always a connoisseur of doing it my way. When I said to myself, I said, I'm gonna be the next Ali. I'm not gonna do what you want me to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna say what I want to say. If I want to do rap music, I'm gonna do it. If I want to do rap video, ain't nobody stopping me because we don't get these opportunities. I'm taking full advantage of these opportunities, and while I'm doing that, I'm gonna bust your ass on the basketball court. I wouldn't do anything different. Nothing at all.
Brilliant. Obviously now retired player, an excellent one at the NBA Hall of Famer. You talked there about doing whatever you want, and you did that exactly. You're still doing that. You're going into film directing, moving into, you even had 4 rap albums. Currently a pundit for the NBA. But what's next for Shaquille O'Neal? I know you've got loads of ventures off the court and outside the game too. Where does Shaquille O'Neal go next?
Well, now I'm all about making people happy. I'm all about just making people smile. I was in my DMs one day and I got a DM from this beautiful girl from London. She wanted me to be on her podcast. I told her I was doing it. We kind of lost contact, but she said she really wanted me to do it. That's why I'm here with you fellas. So I'm just all about just making people happy and making people smile. That's it.
Brilliant. Just on a final note, then, obviously, like I said, it is a coaching related podcast, or anyone that's maybe passionate about athlete and personal development in general. If I gave you 60 seconds now to kind of wrap up one golden nugget for us, or maybe a couple within the 60 seconds, what would that be for people to maybe think about applying in their own journeys?
I would say if you have a coach, that means they know something that you do not know. So I urge you to listen. I urge you to take those jewels in. I urge you to become better. I urge you to work hard. I urge you to find out whoever your favorite player is and steal everything he has. If you like soccer, look at Lionel Messi. If you like NFL football, look at all the best players. If you like basketball, look at LeBron, look at Kobe as a youngster and steal all their stuff. And remember, there can never be no next. You have to be the first. But all the stuff that's given to you is information. When you watch Jordan do a move, that's information. That's not his move. That's your move. You saw it, you take it, you practice it, you develop it, you become the best that you can be. So I urge these kids to use the information and listen to the coaches. Coaches are there to – coaches see things that you don't see. So you can be the greatest player in the world, but you can still not see something, and you have a guy, a coach, that can tell you something. Just think about it. John Wooden was a little small white guy. I don't even know if he played basketball or not, but you see what he did at UCLA, the knowledge he had. He had great players, but the knowledge that he gave those guys made them even great. So, make sure you always listen to your coach and, make sure you always listen. Because even if you become great, you have to really say to yourself, did I become great by myself? The answer is no. If you look at the clock in London, Big Ben, they always talk about how the clock looks, but they don't talk about the stuff that's inside the clock that makes the clock go. Those are the people that work hard, and those are the coaches.
Brilliant. Shaq, I just want to thank you again for your time this evening. I know, obviously, you're celebrating Christmas.
All right.
We do definitely appreciate your time, and I'd just like to say thank you again.
Thank you, brother.
It's been a pleasure for us.
And I'll talk to you soon, inshallah.
Inshallah.
All right. Respect. London, respect.
Well, there you have it, guys. Another episode of the Coaches Network podcast, where our aim is to bring the world of athlete, talent, and personal development together to just one platform. And you can help us with that mission right now by sharing this episode or any of your favorite episodes with everyone that you can think of. You can tag us in those mentions as well on Instagram at the Coaches Network or on Twitter at the Coaches Net. We look forward to hearing from you. Let us know what you thought about today's episode. And until next time, guys, take care.